Okay, welcome back. So now we can scan this door. Security clearance approved. Through vigilance and strength, we create peace. This opens a little morph ball hole, which leads us through here to a map station. So here we can see the rest of the area. Got a big area through here that we won't actually be going here for a little while. Section there we haven't gone to, and a whole bunch of stuff over here, which we'll be going to soon enough. And if you look at the legend down here, you can actually see, I can't access it yet, but if I was able to, I could hit X and go to the Dark World version of the map. So this is that thing I told you I could scan before. This is a research. This is a blue root tree. It's poisonous. It's found on several worlds in desert climate zones. Elegant and attractive plant. The tree's leaves are highly toxic. Few species can ingest leaves and live. Many of them, such as space pirates, consider the deadly blue root leaf a delicacy. So I'm still not sure why this tree is like holographic and you can actually walk through it. It's really strange, but oh well. So now I can head up here and access this lore scan we saw before. Aether was a fertile, aged world with bountiful fields and oceans. The native creatures were gentle compared to other worlds we had encountered. We settled in a mountainous region at first, in cliffside dwellings, which we'll be seeing that later in the game. In time, we established settlements in the green forest of Torvis and the fertile plains of Agon. That's where we are now. A great temple was built between our three domains, a place of peace and monument to our accomplishments. It was a time of harmony for our people. So there are three great regions of the world. There's the Agon Wastes, where we are now, which used to be fertile plains. There's the Torvis Forest, where we'll be going after this, and then there's a cliffside dwelling, where we'll be going after that. So now we head back through here. Now that I have Morph Ball Bomb, I can blow this up, shoot up through here. And an energy tank. Oh, I was wrong. I thought it was a missile. I would much rather have an energy tank than a missile, actually. I'm not going to complain. Now we continue on. Back through here. Now, for some reason, those... the war wasps are gone, and now there's these Lumites. I don't know why they bothered to put war wasps in for one room, for, you know, one time through the room, and then changed them. I don't know why they didn't just put the Lumos in. Oh well. So, up top is a door. We need to actually get through there, I think. And as you see, it's kind of hard to see now, but sometimes these guys will turn invisible in the light. Through vigilance and strength we create peace. That's one of their catchphrases, basically. There's another blue root tree, and this one has a missile station. Missile upgrade. So we're up to 20. And the, when you're on the menu screen of the game, the percent completion log works exactly like it did in the last game, where it has 100% and each one is based on the number of item pickups you get in the game. I believe it works exactly the same anyway. I haven't tested it quite the same. So there's a... Oh, I can actually scan that from here. Cool. So new lore. Cataclysm. The Starborne terror burnt through the heavens and struck Aether with an untold might. So this is the meteor that hit the planet. We all expected the world to shatter, but Aether held. There was great devastation, however. The green plains of Agon were scorched forever, so that's how this place turned into desert. And the forest of Torvus was engulfed and racked by the sea. So Torvus used to be a forest, now it is a bog. The skies burned for days, casting darkness over the land. So that meteor completely fucked this place over. So now we are heading back to the portal. And I hear some space pirates. Yes, indeed. Okay, guys. There's a bunch of them. And more Darklings. So now they're Dark Pirates. Which turns them a lot bigger, actually. Dark Pirate. Pirate troopers already trained to follow orders without question were perfect candidates for Ing possession. Darklings moved to take every trooper they could, expanding the army of the Horde considerably. Space pirate technology struck a chord with the Ing, who now actively hunt for gadgetry of any kind. So, they turn all purple, they get these huge spikes on their back. These guys actually are kind of a threat to me. They hurt pretty bad. And they take a decent number of hits. They're good at dodging. So yeah, my first couple times through the game, these guys actually did a pretty good number on me. Okay. So now I can come use this. I can also scan this lore back here. And we've already got 30% of the lore in the game. The main energy controller was built in the Great Temple. 3 sub-controllers were built in the temples of Torvus, Agon, and Sanctuary. So Sanctuary is the cliffside temple. They collected the energy of ether, then radiated it over the world to all who needed it. In time, we came to call this precious energy the light of ether. It brought an age of peace and prosperity to the liminal. Pop up my health a little bit. The game is still playing the space pirate music. Okay. So this activates this lift system here. Now we get the mechanism puzzle music from the last game. So I can blow this up. Which lets the sand start flowing again. Activates this lens system. And more war wasps. Over here, there's actually a new enemy. I can get a good scan on him. This is a pillbug. Pillbugs prefer to dwell in dark caverns. They can exist in light areas. They navigate with a series of antennae. They roam through caves in search of moss and fungus. They can move rapidly and will ram targets to clear their path. They can be jarred loose with a concussive blast. So yeah, their belly is a vulnerable spot. These are basically morph ball enemies. You're not going to see them anywhere else. Pretty cool looking, actually. Nice little swirls on the bottom. So they're going to be in tunnels that we navigate with morph ball. That activates the second lens. We've got to open up all 3. Deal with these damn bugs every time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys are immune to my regular weapons. Yeah, see, that just makes them move faster. If you hit them or they hit you, they'll ram you out of the way like that. If you time a bomb, knock them on their bellies, and a couple of shots will blow them up like that. But you don't need to do that, you can just dodge them most of the time. That one always spits me out prematurely. So now, suddenly the clouds part. The sun comes through. Focuses the energy on this, which activates the portal. And if I come over here, I can actually jump into the beam of light, and it actually does blind me for a second, and then give you a cool little visual effect of the light fading from Samus's eyes. I think it would have been cool if they had her like put up her hand or something. So, let's go to Dark Aether, shall we? Get used to this cutscene, by the way. We'll be seeing it a lot. Unfortunately, the portal device is still here in Dark Aether. So Samus comes and checks it out. Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous, so like that Luminoth told us, if we head out here, the atmosphere will start to hurt us, and as you can see, it hurts us very rapidly. Now, if we stand in these safe zones, it'll actually heal us slowly, as you see. So, for this part of the game, at the very least, I'll be spending a decent amount of time standing back in these healing zones to heal back up from having to walk through the atmosphere, which, you know, I'm going to cut for you. I'm not going to let you watch me stand here and wait, because there is a decent amount of that at this part of the game, but it doesn't last very long. So, these are Ing blade pods. These are actual Ing that morph themselves into containers to hold items. So this is the Dark World item box, essentially. So you can blow them up just like normal, they pop and drop items. Nothing special there. So if we head down here, this is a light crystal. This is what we saw when we first went to Dark Aether back at the beginning of the game, and this is the thing that other like dark version of me shot. And that was what we were seeing there. She was in a light bubble like this, and then after it got blown up, the light bubble shrunk down and disappeared, and then we started getting hurt by the atmosphere. The Luminoth light crystal generates a protective field of light energy. So they can be nullified by dark energy and supercharged by light energy. So these things will actually provide us 3 different research scans in the game, but we're only going to get 1 now. We'll get the other 2 in a little bit. So, dark creatures despise the crystals. Some are injured or killed by the field they create. So, the Ing will actively avoid these zones of light. They will, like, if an Ing is attacking you, they will come and run up to you and, like, stop right here and not enter the light field. So it's kind of a protective zone. This is a light beacon. This is the lesser version, basically. Beacons were created when the Luminoth ran short of light crystals. So they function the same way, but they don't create a full, like, you know, permanent zone. You actually have to shoot them and it creates a zone. And then after a little bit it'll start to flash and it'll disappear. So if we wait a second, it will blink off. Yeah, you see it starts to blink and then it'll go away, but I can shoot it again and keep it active. So here's the actual version of this bomb slot that I can now use, which opens up the gate here, and you get a little shot of it opening up in the light world too. So, trans-dimensional activity detected. So this is a common thing we're going to see, where we find a bomb slot that is only active on dark ether, and we have to come to dark ether to open up a path on the light world. But we're not going back there yet. We want to keep moving on. So here's some new enemies. These are inglets, I believe? Yeah. So these are little drone ings, little tiny ones. These are basically the basic version. They perform the menial labor of the Horde. They can be pressed in combat. They are amorphous blobs. Seldom travel alone. Yeah, they're not much of a threat. They form into these blobs and move around like that, and you can kind of shoot them and bring them out of it. Going up that way. They only appear on your radar when they're out of the blob form. So you can see the sky here is that just awful dark purple mess that we kept seeing flash into the sky on Light Ether. If you look up there, there's actually a missile upgrade that we can't get yet. But this is a half pipe, so yeah, when we get the morph ball boost, we'll be able to go up there. Continue on. More inglets in here. Can be kind of a pain right now. They're not really a threat though. Here's a safe station. Flying around here, these are, if I can get this, there we go. These are night barbs. So these are actually little tiny ing that fly around. They're basically like the sand bats. They fly in a swarm. Their primary predators are hunter ing, so other ing actually eat these things. They're weird little crystal looking things. They're kind of odd. They're not going to do much. They just fly around and you can shoot them and pop them, but they're not a problem. So we head out here. This puts us back in the big main area, which is now called the dwelling range. And if you see, this is the dark map, and if I hit X, I can take it back to the light map, and you can see the rooms are all exact copies, but they all have different names. And if you see on this side, there's a portal there, on that spot where I said there's a dark world looking portal from the light world version. So, if I come out here, here's a big guy. So check it out, these are the guys that stole my stuff back in the day. So this is the warrior ing, I believe? Yeah. So these are the primary ing forces. This is the main bulk of what an ing is going to look like. They're really weird looking. They have 5 legs, as you see, which I'm sure was a decision done to make them look like strange and unnatural, which it does a really good job of. They're just freaky looking. They don't really move right. But this is the primary bulk of the ing forces. So, let's see. Warrior ing are challenging foes. They can render themselves into amorphous puddles and move over most terrain, including walls. They can turn their bodies into projectiles, and the tips of their legs are razor sharp. Finally, they can channel trans-dimensional energy and fire it at their enemies. Their only real weakness is bright, pure light, which they hate and fear. So he can shoot beams of energy at me. He can also do that, what he did right there. Our symbiotic possession attempt failed, so he just tried to possess me, basically. like they possess other creatures. And there he's shooting beams of energy at me. So these guys will try, pretty much most of the Ing in the game will actually try to possess you like they do other creatures. I'm not 100% sure why they are unable to. I think it has something to do with the energy transfer module that we picked up. And you see, when they're in that little amorphous form, I can shoot them and make them move faster. So that's it for them. They're not that much of a threat. As you saw, they won't really go into these light fields. So up here, say Lightbringer, Light Generating Forager. So these were created by Luminoth. And I've got some weird audio glitches going on. Okay, it's gone now. No, I've still got some weird audio glitches. That's kind of weird. I'm hearing things I shouldn't be hearing. So here's a dark door. Dark energy. So we're seeing there's a lot of light and dark energy going on in the game. I can't open that. So yeah, the Illuminoth created these little light walkers. They don't hurt you. They just walk around, make little sounds. Just like the crystals, you can energize them with light or dark energy, and so they will provide more scans for us later. Okay, I was getting some really crazy audio glitches there, but we're back. I had to reload. So hopefully that won't be a problem in the future. So this is a rift portal. This is a light world portal. That takes us back to the spot we saw before, but I can't do anything with it now. So we want to continue on. There's another little walker. Now head back through this way. And now there's a bomb slot down there, or a missile upgrade, but there's no more kinetic orb cannon, and there's actually a bomb slot up there with a magnetic rail track, so I need to come back for that much later. And in these spots, there's these weird little light zones that there doesn't appear to be a crystal or anything here, and it's kind of cylindrical. I don't really understand what this is about. There's more of those later in the game. So, this puts us back at the mining station where we found the space pirates, but now it's called the Judgment Pit. Okay. Go check this guy out. So, it's time for another boss. This is the Jump Guardian. So this guy has absorbed the space jump boots. This is the one that stole our space jump. He can jump incredible distances and uses its ability to create effect. Can generate shockwaves and dark energy. Will sheath itself in potent force field. So yeah, he looks like a Warrior Ing, except a little more detailed. Doesn't quite have the same eye thing going on. Got some blades on his legs. He's a little bigger. His legs are more defined because he's better at jumping. So the fight with him is basically like the fights with other Warrior Ing, except he'll run around a lot, and when he'll jump and make a shockwave like that. When he surrounds himself with dark energy like that, I can't actually hurt him. So he'll just jump all over the place like that, as you see, and then you just gotta shoot him when he's vulnerable. He'll use these. See, when they shoot these beams of light at you, it's supposed to be trans-dimensional energy, and it actually looks like light energy. I'm not sure what, and if it lets himself get hit with that, it gives me some electrical interference. I'm not sure why they actually shoot light energy, since they're dark creatures. I always thought that was kind of odd. I thought they would just shoot, dark energy at you. Well. So, this is the fight. He's not really too much of a threat. He just takes a while to kill. And you've got to watch out for shockwaves, because they can be pretty nasty. But because I'm in a light field, I am regenerating health slowly, which is a useful thing that you can take advantage of when you're in Dark Ether. And it will be true of most of the boss fights in Dark Ether. Not all of them, but most. So he's going to start jumping around like crazy now. you can see targeting is just kind of strange in this game. A lot more enemies will jump out of your targeting, and it can be a lot more difficult to actually get a lock onto them initially. I'm not sure why. Oh, he just ran right through that light field and didn't give a shit. I've never actually seen him do that. So yeah, they don't like these light fields, but this version of the light field, they can actually walk. It won't hurt them, but they will try and avoid it as they can. As you see, he just runs circles around it most of the time. I've never seen him run straight through the thing before. And now he's just jumping all over the place like a crazy man. Almost got him. There we go. So this will give us our space jump back. Which I've always found to be one of the most useful upgrades in these games. It just improves your mobility so much. So let's collect some of this energy, which I actually don't need. In every cutscene with the space jumps, it shows Samus just jumping really high, like she would in the 2D games where it would be called the high jump. But in the actual game, it functions as a double jump, so I wonder if they actually tested it to see what it would have looked like if she just jumped really high and it turned out to be more useful to actually have the double jump. It's kind of hard to tell. So there's a bunch of doors around here. That one on the right there will lead us back to the portal, which is where we need to go. But I can show you something else, which we actually need to go do. So yeah, see, we can jump around a lot better now. It's so useful. So this puts us back to the temple. So look, we're back at the temple. This is the Dark Agon Temple. Here's a gate. All locks are active, 3 keys are required, so we need all 3 keys in these 3 locks here to get through. There's a big thing in the center there that I can't scan. Big blob looking thing. Maybe a creature. This is the Dark Temple. I need to get through the other side. Now if I go this way, through here, this is one of the temple keys. Just sitting over here. So I need 2 more. So we are done on Dark Aether for the moment. We pretty much just needed to get the space jump. And that will let us do other things back on the light world. So you can see this statue is still here on the Dark World, but I can't scan it or anything. And up past it is a super missile door, which we won't be able to do anything with yet. Up here is a dark door, which again, nothing to do. Here's another one of these columns of light that just has no source. It's kind of strange. This spinner has got like this black pit in the middle. It's really weird. And you can see the tree, those hang on. The blue root tree is now this weird red and black thing, and if I go into it, it actually is also holographic and turns us red instead of blue. So we want to head back this way. So here's another one of these light bringers, light flyers that we saw back in the temple. But this one, if I shoot it, it actually drops and makes a light field. So that's kind of cool. That's one of the only instances in the game where we're going to see that. So now we're back here in the Light World Temple. we're going to head back. But I'm also going to pause for a second and recharge some of my energy, because I'm getting no. You can see how bad the Dark World just hurts you just walking around right now. So here's a Light World portal. Now we can scan this, and it actually counts as a research. So walk into this to travel back to Light Ether. Here we're going to get that same cutscene in reverse, basically. She turns back and gets warped into the light. Walks out this way. Now that door is open. And if we open this again, we got the cutscene first time, so we weren't able to scan this. But now we can. And this also counts as a research as a dark portal, but we don't really want to go through there. More space pirates. Fortunately, these don't get taken over by the Darklings. You can see how that other one dodged my missile shots. They almost seem better at dodging my missiles than they are at dodging my charge beam. So here's the light world version of this spot, which again also has the half pipe, and there's a portal and a door up top. Can't do anything with that yet. Get another missile. This puts us back through here. It's another scan of the blue root tree. If I head through this sand waterfall, takes us back over here to the save point. So this is a good stopping point. The next section is kind of long before we get to another save point, so we're going to save that for next time. So, thanks guys. See you then.